Welcome to Wildly Rooted Yoga and Fitness. In today's practice, we're going to be restoring our energy, calming our cortisol levels, while also supporting our adrenal glands. Grab a mat, grab a bolster, grab a blanket if you have it. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Let's begin. We're going to begin our practice today in a supported child's pose. So you can keep your knees together and your feet together for this if you would like. And then having a really long pillow or maybe a couple of pillows, maybe you stack a couple blankets on top to bring the earth up to you and make it a little bit more cozy. And then you can drape your arms forward and around your bolster or pillow and then lay your head to one side. That's option one. I think I'm going to go with option two today, which is keeping the big toes to touch. Knees are going to go super wide, settling the hips back towards the heels and still framing the bolster or the pillow with my hands and walking them forward. I'm going to go and rest on my right ear as I start to lower down, turn my gaze, and then find this comfortable, cozy, wide child's pose. Keep that tailbone curling down. Already got relaxed. Big toes to touch. You may close your eyes here. Start to tap into the rhythm of your breath. Maybe take a few intentional deep breaths in and out. Try to breathe into your back. We're decompressing our spine, letting the weight of our body fully be supported by the bolster here. And we're only here for a few more rounds of breath. I'm going to go silent. With your next inhale, see if you can just notice the rising and falling of your back. And then we're going to take one more breath exactly where we are. Feel the stretch in the inner thighs and the glutes. Start to slowly crack your eyes open. And find some awareness in your hands first before you start to press back up. So just spreading the fingertips wide here. And then pressing the palms into the mat. Extending the elbows, sliding one hand close towards the body and then the other. And then we are going to remove our bolster and our blanket for this next part. So I'm just going to shove mine over to the side here. We're going to dive ourselves forward onto tabletop position. So we're going to want our hands and our wrists directly stacked under our shoulders. Knees are about directly underneath our hip points. There's space in between our knees and thighs. We've got our shins or our calves parallel to each other so they're not splaying in or splaying out. So just see if you can be aware and conscious of that right now. Start to look down towards your mat. We're locking out through our elbows. We're trying to shine out our elbow creases forward. And then here we go, cat-cow flow. We're going to drop the belly, pull the tailbone high, and lift the head. Big inhale. And then when you exhale, really round through your spine. Really push the earth away, chin to chest. Tailbone down towards your heels. And we keep flowing back and forth like that. Loosening up our spine, moving some spinal fluid around. This is also really good for our lower organs as well. You might feel this stretch in your glutes when you come into cow. When you really pull that tailbone high and shine your chest forward. This could also be a moment to feel a stretch in your collarbone or your throat chakra. And then pushing the earth away, claw through your fingertips, the thumb and the index finger in particular. And one more time, taking our time, allowing ourselves to feel safe and grounded, knowing that this is re-energizing us. It's re-energizing our body. We're taking some time for some self-love and self-care. We're going to come back to a neutral tabletop position. And from here, we're actually going to drop our forearms down and then slide our legs back for Sphinx pose. So I'm keeping my fingertips wide here. I'm going to drop one forearm. I'm going to drop the other. This sort of looks like a puppy pose right now, which is actually also really yummy. Sliding the legs back, dipping the pelvic floor down. We want to press our belly and our pelvic floor in towards the mat. We want to feel some awareness and some alertness in our shoulders and our chest. So very similar to our cow, from our cat-cow flow, very similar to cow, we want to feel this alertness and this openness in our heart space. We're keeping our chin and our nose pretty parallel to the ground. And start to look down towards the mat or the floor in front of your mat. There's a 90-degree angle in our elbows. Those are pretty tucked in close towards our body. The toes are uncurled and the tops of the feet are pressing in towards the mat for some gentle support. As you arrive here, take a deep breath in through your nose and really sigh out the tension. Twice more. Inhaling deeply, feel the belly rise. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale with everything you've got. Keep pressing gently into your fingertips. Keep pressing the pelvic floor into the floor. The hip flexors into the floor. Your quads are supported on the floor. We're here for a few more rounds of breath. The arms are going to start to get shaky here. I know I feel it. So we're together in the heat building process of this pose, this Sphinx pose. Keep rolling your shoulders back. And let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Keep your gaze neutral. Notice if you need to unclench any muscles in the jaw or unfurrow your brow bone. Let your tongue relax. Let your mouth relax. And then one of my favorite ways to get out of Sphinx pose is to continue gently pressing down through the tops of the feet for the next couple of seconds. We're going to start to lower our chest and our gaze down towards the mat, relieving that tension building in our arms. Slide the hands back close to the body, underneath your shoulders, chin to chest. And then now we want to curl our toes under, keep our knees on the mat, and then just press our hips up and back so that we can get out of this Sphinx pose. So walking the knees close in towards the mat, and then I'm going to swivel my legs around to one side, come to sit down somewhere in the center of your mat, and then we're actually going to grab that pillow, bolster, blanket combination that we may have had for our wide child's pose. And then slide that underneath your legs. Keep sliding to where now it's actually parallel to the top edge of your mat. So it's in this horizontal position. You can remove the blanket if you have it there. It really just depends on your preference when we actually arrive into our next pose, which is supported bridge pose. So scoot, scoot, scoot those glutes towards your bolster or your pillow, and then start to slowly lower yourself down very slowly and with awareness. And then from here, we're going to slide the bolster. I think I'm actually going to remove my blanket. Slide the bolster underneath our low back, top of the glute area where we feel supported. So it's supporting my low back and supporting the top of my glutes. I can keep my knees bent here and feel super comfy. Start to ground down through the soles of your feet. Squeeze and really pull your shoulder blades together so that it opens up your chest. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling or maybe a couple feet back from where this neutral gaze up towards the ceiling is. So you start to open up, again, your throat chakra there as you look up and back just slightly. Shoulders are rolled down, open and rolled down. And then our hands here are literally doing whatever is most comfortable. So it could be both palms resting on the low belly or the mid torso, or off of the mat with the palms facing up. We're at a low V there. Start to gently find closure of the eyes. Ensure that the weight of your head is fully supported in towards the mat. Keeping the knees bent if you're able. And then perhaps we can connect to an affirmation, a phrase, a mantra of, with every breath, our body is replenished. With every breath, my body is replenished. Slowing down is safe. So maybe you connect to that, or maybe you don't. And if you don't, totally fine. Chuck it over your shoulder and allow yourself to either connect to any bodily sensations you may be experiencing right now, or the rhythm, natural rhythm of your breath. We take one more moment here to really just feel the stretch in the front body. Feel the groundedness of the feet, the head, the shoulders. Gently start to open your eyes. Wiggle your toes and your fingers just a little bit here. And then ground down through the soles of your feet so that you can lift your hips and your glutes up a little bit so that we can slide this bolster, pillow, blanket situation off to the side. And then slowly lower your glutes with a little bit of love. And then pull your knees in towards your chest. Lift your shoulders and your head off of the mat here for a quick breath. Pull those knees in super, super tight. And then gently rest your head and your shoulders back down. Release your left leg out long. And then send that left hand over towards the right knee, right shin area. And we're going to take a twist. A very gentle detox for the low organs. Stretch that right arm out towards the right side. You can send your gaze over towards the right thumb or the right side of the room for a gentler, deeper stretch. And then if that's not your jam, just keep looking up towards the ceiling if you don't need that slightly deeper version. Left hand on the outside of the right knee, right thigh area. And we're not trying to go for pulling our knee towards the ground. Yikes. Ooh. Not safe for the low back, my friend. So we want to keep this integrity of keeping our chest open and keeping both shoulder blades plugged into the mat. And we spin a couple rounds of breath here. You might close your eyes. Internally see if you can feel the stretch happening on the outside right hip. And with each exhale, allow the body to relax and rest down. You might start to gently notice a deeper twist happening in the lower half of your body as you continue to relax your body. Last moment, last breath, exactly where we are. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, open your eyes, pull that right arm in, pull your right leg back to center, and then pull both knees in towards your chest. We're just gonna reset here. Reset our low back, so scoop that tailbone up, and then rest your shoulder and your head back down. And then now we extend the right leg out long. Hang on to that left knee, really squeeze it in like it's a little lemon wedge. Hug it, squeeze it. I love me some lemon water with a splash of pink Himalayan salt. Okay, we're gonna take that twist. Keeping the right leg extended and then keeping the left knee bent. And we're gonna send that over towards the right side. Use this left elbow to sort of create that twist, that gentle twist. I like to put my foot behind the knee that is extended just for some support. Extend the left arm, maybe send the gaze over towards the left side of the room. And you could use a block or, again, a bolster blanket combination underneath this twisted knee here to bring the earth up to you if you feel any kind of a strain in your low back. We're here for a couple rounds of breath. See what you can do to relax. I'll invite you to either repeat our phrase, our affirmation. With every breath, my body is replenished. And if you don't connect to that, see if you can connect to feeling a very generous inhale coming into your nose, that cooler breath, that cooler air. And then with the exhale, notice how it warms up. That air that's flowing out is a little warmer. Keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. And then taking our last moment here, our last breath, our last chance to notice whatever we can notice here in this present moment. And then pull everything back to center. Your arm, your knee, your legs. Scoot yourself around, and if you need to take another counter stretch for your low back, come back to bundle pose, Apanasana, and then gently release the feet and the head back down. The last thing that we have here together, which is another super yummy pose that you can do actually any time of the day, is going to be legs up the wall. We're going to pull that bolster pillow back underneath ourselves, our glutes, so it's going to be parallel to the top edge of the mat again. Scoot that around. And then It might not come fully on your low back here. For the supported bridge, we needed that, but for the legs up the wall, not so much. So it's going to be exactly almost how it sounds. Legs are extended, soles of the feet shining up towards the ceiling. Maybe you start with a gentle flex of the toes so that you can feel a stretch in your calves and your Achilles and maybe the arches of the feet. And then just move that bolster pillow situation around to wherever it feels most comfortable for you around the glutes, low back area. And then we're going to rest here for several rounds of breath. So find what's comfortable for your arms as well. You might take some ankle rotations here, flexing and pointing, or flointing, where you sort of point but then keep your toes flexed. My dancers know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to go silent here again. Find what's comfortable in your hands. It could just be resting them on the belly, off at a low V, or up at cactus. I think I'm going to go with cactus arms today. I like that passive stretch in the chest and the armpit girdle that's happening there. As you anchor down through your hands and your arms, feel support underneath your shoulders and your head, you just might start to feel relaxed, yes? You just might start to find closure of the eyes. Relax your tongue. Relax your eyebrow bone. Relax the jaw. Notice any little pockets where you may be holding. And then gently and graciously ask yourself to release. Remind yourself that with each breath, with each slowing down, our body is replenishing itself. See what you can connect to. We're here for the next few rounds of breath. I am literally going to go silent this time. We're going to start to wiggle our toes and maybe our fingers, maybe bat the eyelashes open. Start to bring your arms and hands back in towards your body. Maybe you take some ankle rotations. Remove that bolster pillow situation off to the side again. And then bend the knees, and then we'll generously rock ourselves back up and meet in a cross-leg position. I'm going to swivel myself around to meet you, crossing one ankle in front of the other. Feel rooted and grounded in your sit bones. Draw the palms together at your heart space, thumbs to sternum. I am bowing to you. I acknowledge you. I see you. I hope that you're able to take some yumminess off of the mat and into the rest of your day, week, month, how you treat yourself. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video.